I
Thank
bring
you.
us back to about, I guess, 12, 13 years ago when you first developed BrainCore. And so I remember it was the end of the year. I was getting ready to retire from practicing at that time. And you got a little bug in my ear saying, hey, I'm looking for a few doctors that want to get into doing brain mapping and be able to do neurofeedback, which is how we can help reprogram the brain. And it was like, you did a map on me, and then I couldn't sleep that night thinking about it. I woke up thinking about it. And for several days afterwards, I was obsessed with it. I'm like, you know what? I can't retire. I called my broker that was selling my clinic that I had somebody on the line. I'm like, you're going to hate me, but I got to stay in practice. I'm going to do brain stuff now. So, that was the beginning of something that I've always kind of been obsessed with, brain health. And now you helped us kind of tone that in and find this big black hole in the practice where we never could get a certain level of healing. It's like just adjusting the body, waiting for the body to heal, adjust the spine, wait for the body to heal. And now all of a sudden, hey, the brain's connected to the spine, and all of that interaction is amazing. And prior to that, we didn't even know neuroplasticity existed. Now all of a sudden we can listen so intently, we can target certain areas and do a reward discipline within a hundredth of a second to really help your brain follow and learn and reprogram. So I tell patients, we've been wired for success at birth, most of us, and then programmed for failure through the traumas and the things that we've gone through in our lives. And so neurofeedback has been such an amazing blessing now for thousands of patients of mine over these years, because we've been able to get in there and reprogram some of the dysfunctional stuff that happened after traumas, and in fact grow new tissue in some of these weak areas to restore homeostasis, and we bring people back to their life that they know they want to live and that they were able to live. And without the ability to tap into the brain and be able to, target certain areas like we can, there's nothing that's just going to heal it, by default. Okay. So when we have brain damage, we have dysregulation, we know now that there's technology that can help us kind of do the reset and that reboot. So I remember when we first started all those years ago, we were just doing a single spot, right in the top center of our head. And I would have miracles take place. And it doesn't happen all the time, but it was amazing, nonetheless, to have an autistic child that never spoke before, never even walked a straight line. And I remember it was so funny because he's never watched TV and can't keep his attention to do that. He's all over the place. And so we put him in a dark room. And I remember I took 2 sensors with paste on him, and I'm hiding in the corner in the dark. Mom brought him in, and we had a cartoon playing on a TV. And also he sits there and he's looking at the TV, and she looks at me like, I can't believe he's doing this. And I sneak up and I put the sensors on at the best of my ability, just to clip an ear and CZ on top. And he turns around and I hit the ground, put my head down, and he looks, he doesn't see me, and he turns back, he's watching TV. I hook him up. The signal was terrible. It was off the charts, not in a lot of artifacts, right? Because it wasn't exact, but I didn't want to mess with it. He sat there for a full 20 minutes, got up, walked across my lobby, and got a drink of water. Mom looked at me and a tear comes down her eyes. And she's like, what did you do? And I go, what do you mean? She's like, he's never walked a straight line before. And so this was also a child that never spoke before. He could say T and P. T is he's hungry, P is he has to go to the bathroom. And he goes home that night, and every night his mom would sit on the bed next to him. She would do this, he would do this, and then she would say the Our Father prayer, and then he would just go to sleep. Well, that night she sat down, she did this, he did this, and then he goes, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Amen. Good night, mommy. And then lay down. And she said she sat there bawling for 3 hours. Her shirt was soaked. Her pants were soaked. And she just kept saying, I knew there was a perfect kid in there somewhere. And I can't believe you just found him for me. And it was so emotional. And that was like our 2nd month into doing this. And it was like, game on. We're going to impact the world in such a way and give people abilities back that they would never otherwise gotten. And so I have just loved neurofeedback. It's the majority part of our practice, and it has been a part of my life. And with all the mobile stuff I do, I have the ability to kind of tap into people in a way that even a lot of other doctors don't do by doing aggressive therapy, where my average patient is training 4 hours a day. 30 days a month for a marathon. And it's exciting because we're seeing massive changes and breakthroughs in their abilities and their quality of life. So That's awesome. And I just want to thank you for creating that and staying with that and always updating things and just keeping our tribe going and helping change the planet, really. We're across the world, neurofeedback has become, such an amazing piece of technology that so many families are grateful for how much it's changed their life.